Welcome to CVSRP Research YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to explain about how to write a research paper in a 1 week. So the title itself, it is saying that how to write a research paper in only 1 week, not takes like months or years. So I will explain some of the tips and how to write a paper within a week. That means only 7 days it will take to write a paper. What are those tricks and all other things, and what is the type of the structure of the paper, the time frame, how you will fix, and what are the tips you have to take while writing the paper, and all those things I am explaining in this video. Writing a full research paper or research article within a single week, I think that's maybe some people think like that it is impossible, but I have done it is repeatedly. Even my students also doing that. We're doing a joyfully experience. It's a joyful experience also. And if you write a paper, if you start a paper, even though if you are a slow writer also, if you follow my strategy, it is very easy to finish up your paper within 7 days. Most probably, first of all, before going to that, I will explain what are the titles you have to choose, which area you are going to prepare the paper, and what are the contents. The most probably the important one is the contents. Like in the contents, if you look into that, first you have to fix the title, then you have to go for the affiliation. The affiliation means like your name as well as the author details, as well as they came from which university, like that, and you have to give the corresponding author also. So who is communicating from journal to the journal, you have to give that the details also here. And later what happens, you have to start abstract, then you have to write the keywords. In the abstract, you have to write the entire research within 200 to 300 pages. In the keywords, like you have to mention 4 to 5 keywords related to your research area. Then you have to write the introduction. The next portion is the literature review. The next portion is the research significance, like from the past research and in your research, what is the major significance is there. And later you have to go for the methods. And next step is you have to discuss about the results and discussions. And next you have to go for the conclusions. And next acknowledgements. And next author statement, or like some people will call it as a credit author statement. Next one is a declaration of interest. Next, references. Yeah, these are the things we have to follow up when you are writing a paper. The first and foremost thing is you have to fix the title, and you have to write the author details as well as the affiliation of those authors, and you have to write the corresponding author also, who is the responsible person to communicate with the journal. Then you have to go for the abstract. The total content you should be right to 150 to 300 words. So next keywords, those keywords are 4 to 5 keywords related to a research area. Then you have to start the introduction, the literature review. The literature review is nothing but from the previous research papers you have to take from Science Direct or any other resources, whatever you have. And next you have to give the research significance, like what is the new things when you compare with the previous research work. Then next methods, so which methods you are done to find out your objectives. Next, results and discussions. And next one is based on result and discussions, you have to go for the conclusions. And next, acknowledgement. In this acknowledgement, what you have to do means, is there any acknowledgement, either you got any funding from the government, like that you have to mention here. And credit author systems, for suppose you have 5 authors are there. So in the 5 authors, so each author, what is the roles and responsibility you have to mention here, declaration of interest, then references. Coming to next, the prepare well. The first point, what I am saying here, when you start a paper, you have to prepare the draft very carefully. Like if you want to write a draft, a whole research paper in a single week, that is a 1 week, you need to prepare everything in advance so that you can focus on writing and actually finish in a week. For suppose, first think about the title. Okay, this is an important step because of the most of the audience or the journal determine the content and the style of your paper. As if you take a reference, maybe you pick up 50 to 100 reference papers on the same similar topic which is published in a target journal. And later what happens, you have to fix the target journal for which journal you are going to publish your paper, like how to find the elsewhere journal and also Springer journals. So I discussed in the previous videos. If you want, you can check over there. So next, create the title. So next, you have to put together all the results at a place, and that you need to present your research paper. You have to collect the necessary data, and you have to finish the all analysis also, and you have to create the tables or whatever the graphs or figures, whatever it may be. So these all things you have to prepare very well while starting your paper. And even you can start the literature review also. Whatever you've done, the background of work of your research area, you have to know, read, and you have to note down some important points, like, at any point that comes to your mind as something to be mentioned in the introduction, as well as the discussion board, as well as you have to write a draft preliminary abstract. Okay, it will help you to keep the direction and not to get distracted by secondary ideas as you write the individual sections. So as well, these are the checklist, whatever I am going to explain in the next slides. So it makes within a 1 week, you have to write. Within a week, you can finish this one. You have to reserve for the whole week. Is it so? No. There are some tricks are there. I will tell you. Like how to find the best place where you can write without distractions. Okay. So how to find the best place. So this, in this regard, for suppose if I want to write written in my first paper, or in holidays, I prefer to write my paper. Why? Because most probably we don't have any other works, academical works. So that's why most of the time I write in my home. And if you prefer library also, it is a good place where you can write happily. So though if it is if possible, the best go to for a retreat, and you can removing yourself from your everyday sittings, and immensely helps focus on the writing also. Yeah, and also you have to cancel all the social obligation for the week, and how to get some support from the family or friends. So these are the things I have to mention here. And most important thing, work smart. What I am saying, work smart. Maybe you think that you can never ever draft a research article in a single week. Okay, because of you write it slowly and producing only few paragraphs per day. It's okay, no problem. Well, I agree with that, whatever you've done that. But if you don't optimize your writing strategy, it will be hard to impossible to write a whole paper in a week. But what I am saying that anyone can learn to write effectively, writing whatever the things in the previous work and other things based on the work, you have to write easily. And also, most important thing, what I am saying, what are the processes of writing and revising? Both are different. You have to separate this one, writing and revise. This is the most important case. What I am going to explain that. The most important principle you have to keep in mind, the writing part is different and revise part is different. Okay. And start your writing day with 10 minutes of your free time. So first you have to write within 10 minutes, and take, for suppose when you are started your paper, for suppose if I take 15 to 20 minutes, then immediately take a break, like up to 5 to 10 minutes. Like you have to create some sessions, like half an hour, like that. So what happens now? So it should be, if you take some breaks, 5 to 10 minutes. So these breaks, get up and walk a bit and stretch, look around and breathe deeply. These breaks helps you sustain high focus and productivity throughout the whole day. Okay. And also eat and sleep well, whatever you are doing to simulate your professional work. You can take care of your brain as well as the body. And also every day celebrate the progress you have made. Like today I done 2 paragraphs, this day I have done 3 paragraphs, this day I prepared the tables and prepare. Like that you can reward yourself. Okay. Like that you have to do all the things. Yeah, the first thing is that title. While writing a paper, the title is the most important thing. You have to keep the title related to your research area only. or research findings. Whatever your research findings are there, you have to find out and you have to fix the title very easily. Not like simply sometimes, I observed some papers, the title is different as well as another, the part, whatever they discussed in the paper is different. That's why my sincere request, while preparing the title, you must check the abstract as well as your findings. That means whatever you fix the objectives, the same thing, it will reflect in the title. The next thing is abstract. So before abstract, what you have to write in the title page, you have to write the author's details also. In the author's details, you have to mention like first name, you have to one, then comma, second, then third, like that you have to write. And if it is for suppose the first author is a corresponding author, you have to give the star mark. Then at the bottom, you have to write the corresponding author details, like maybe name or mail ID. This is the most important thing. Don't forget while writing a paper. Okay. So in the abstract, what you have to do means you can prepare the abstract 150 to 300 words. So in these words, what you have to cover related to your research and your objectives, like what are the findings or what you mentioned in the paper. Okay, this is the most important thing. Later what happens in the below paragraph of abstract, you have to mention the keywords also. It may be 5 to 6 keywords related to your research area. The next, coming to the introduction, whatever you are discussing your research related to your research paper, you have to mention the introduction, like background of your research work. The background of research work is the most important thing, from where it was started, in which year it was started, and what are the findings, the previous findings, and you have to mention what are the applications, uses, and each and everything, the part when it was started, the research area, how it will be useful, and all other things you have to do in the introduction portion only. Okay. The next step is the literature review. Literature review is nothing but it is how to collect the papers, the research papers, whatever we have related to your research area. Most probably go for contemporary research. For suppose I choose one topic, okay, based on the global warming. So related to global warming, I have to check each and everything from past, so 10 years or 15 years, like that. So you have to collect the papers. Maybe you can the best way to collect the papers is a Science Direct. In this website, you can check a lot of papers. So like collect the papers and keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Maybe you collect 20, 30, 40, 50, it depends. Like if you write a review paper, you can collect 100 papers also. If it is a research oriented, we can collect up to 50. It's enough actually while writing a paper. And what you have to do, you have to note down each and every point. Very, very important points from each paper, whatever you downloaded. From each paper, you have to note down the important points, and you have to mention, like from each paper, you have to mention one paragraph. For each paper, you have to write a paragraph, like for suppose if you downloaded one paper, the first paper, what are the findings are there, what are the research areas, or what are the new concepts are implemented in that research paper, like that you have to mention in the paragraph. The next, what happens after literature review, while collecting that all those things, you have to write the research significance. So in this research significance means what are the new things in your paper. What is a new thing? While comparing with the 50 to 100 papers of your research area, which one is the most important things, whatever you, maybe you studied previously, but what are new things or the innovation you are doing in your research area? You have to write a one paragraph mandatorily in this research significance. Next thing is the results. So what are the methods you discussed? What are the methods based on the objectives? How to frame the objective after the research significance. Then you have to write the methods also, which experimental analysis you are going to do, what are the experiments you are doing in your laboratory. You have to write each experiment clearly. Okay, regarding that experiment, the methods, whatever you are proposing in your research area, you have to write all the methods, like each method having 1 to 2 paragraphs. It depends upon your method. Later, what happens from each objective, for each objective, how many tests you have done, or how many methods you followed. From that, you will get results like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like from each method, you will get different types of the results. So all results you have to combine, and you have to prepare the graphs wherever necessary, prepare the tables wherever necessary. Okay. So next, what happens, then go to the conclusions. From the results and discussions, you have to mention maximum up to 5 conclusions. It depends upon research area, but 5 are very suitable for any research paper. So in these conclusions, what you have to do, you have to mention it, correlate with what are the objectives of your research paper. Then you have to mention clearly. Then you have to prepare the conclusions. Okay, so once if you prepare the conclusions, so at the time of conclusions, what you have to give the citations. Citations are most important thing while writing a paper. For suppose you downloaded in literature purpose around 100 papers. So each paper, what you have to do, you have to give the citation in your references. Okay, so after conclusions, what happens? After conclusion and before references, you have to mention the acknowledgements. Like for suppose if your research area is any funding project, you have to mention the funding details also. And next thing is you have to give the credit author statement. So in the credit author statement is like, for suppose the first author developed the paper and write the reviews and other things. And second author is only for paper setting. And third author is completely laboratory experiment. Like that, each author credit you have to give here. Okay, and declaration of statement also, declaration of interest you have to do here. Then in the references, you have to mention how many papers you referred, like in the literature review and other research purpose, how many papers you referred, you have to give each and everything. For this purpose, you can easily go for the Google Scholar site. So in the Google Scholar site, what you have to, you will get easily the references. Once if you type the title, or if you type the author name, you will get those papers. Simply copy and paste which style you required. Like there are a lot of styles are there, around 5 styles are there. You can take from that. So like this, you have to prepare the research paper. So this is the very easiest way to prepare the research paper in a week. And you have to think once, like how we will write 1 week. That means you have to take the sessions, like maybe 20 to 30 minute session each day. And what happens in between, you have to take the breaks, like 5 to 10 minutes. So then again, you have to start. For this one, we have to prepare very well before starting the paper. Prepare well, like all the content you have to prepare well, and you have to write clearly, easily. And also like journal finders, which one is suitable journal finder. In the previous videos, I explained clearly. Thank you so much for watching CVSRP Research YouTube channel. If you like my video, please click like button, and thank you so much. Please share my video.